Hello, everyone, and welcome to the finale of Super Mario Bros. Wonder. It's the final test, so this part is just me trying to get through it, and thankfully I do by the end of it. So,
oh Christ! All right, that's 27 minutes of attempts.
This stage took me 2 hours to beat the first time I tried to do it, so you know.
No, I'm just talking in terms of the commentary. Like, what we gotta talk about? Like, what can we
stage
possibly
so
stretch?
hard? The video game make angry because stage too hard.
Bosses were a mistake.
You see, the thing about this is that Ryan got hit at the very start of this level. There's no 2 second tier power up for the rest of the game, for the rest of the stage. So if you get hit in this very first section, you have to go through the entire rest of the whole long level without being able to take 3 hits. You can only do 2, which is part of what makes it so hard. Is there's no like extra little bit of room for error.
Oh.
The platform didn't move.
Well, no, he was supposed to jump on it one more time.
Yeah.
Man, how couldn't he have known that the first time he played, idiot?
Wait, are you continuing to go through without any power-ups?
I have to.
They don't give you another one if you start, and you'd have to leave the level to get it and come back. And then if he got hit twice or died, he would then have to do the entire thing. So there's sections like these for like 9 separate badges throughout the entire game. And you only get a checkpoint after like 3 or 4 of them each. So, and they get pretty damn hard too, is the other thing. So
the first grouping isn't too bad.
It's not too bad, but it's also not too bad because you get the most practice with them. You know, because you keep on, you play through it the most.
It doesn't take you long to get back to this part.
Yeah.
Oh.
The cogs were spinning. Backwards.
Yeah, but at the beginning of, once you hit a checkpoint, you will get a mushroom, and that's it. And you can't think, oh, well, I'll do every power-up is an elephant power-up, because your badge is automatically switched to whatever challenge badge you're doing here.
Yeah,
so,
this is like the longest badge challenge in the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would say this isn't the hardest, like Mario Challenge level, Grandmaster Galaxy, whatever you want to call it. It's certainly not the hardest, but I do think it's the hardest one in a while. Because it's certainly harder than Odyssey's final level, for sure.
I found that harder than this.
Aside from Odyssey, I don't think this is that hard compared to other ones.
What would you say is the hardest one from experience? I had to think about this because
the 3D world, the 3D land or world. I can't remember which one. It's one of those two. I think is the hardest.
I remember having a bitchy time with the champion level of 3D land on the 3DS.
Yeah, it might have been that one. I can't remember.
So I've never actually gotten to either of them because I didn't feel like playing through 3D Land an entire second time in order to get to it. You know what? I forgot.
Right. You had to play as both Mario and Luigi for that.
So, no, here's the thing. I wasn't even thinking about playing as both Mario and Luigi. I was thinking about having to do the extra set of 8 worlds that are almost identical to the first set of 8 worlds.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was.
And then you have to do all 16 worlds again as Luigi. So, I was like, no thanks. And then Mario 3D World does the same thing, but even more so. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I don't feel like it.
Oh god, there are coins to collect too.
Yes,
yep,
there are.
There sure are.
Thankfully, you only need to grab them once, and then you just have them until you game over or exit the stage.
I have never seen what the game over screen in this game looks like.
You just lose some purple coins.
I mean, it's basically the same as the other games.
Yeah, but I have actually seen the game over screen I've even seen the game over screen in Mario Galaxy. Not often, but I have done it.
I don't think I ever have.
It's not that interesting. They just play the normal game over music and then you go back to the beginning.
I can't immediately think of a game over screen that was like compelling or at least so distraughting that you don't want to see it because you felt like shit.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie was Gruntilda. She's able to...
Sexy
yeah,
Gruntilda.
she
right?
Frankenstein monsters your sister and becomes hot grunty.
Right. But you see, I've seen Hot Grunty, and I'm just saying, if I lost, it probably was on purpose.
Doesn't one of the like Metroidvania, Castlevania games have a game over screen where like your character succumbs to darkness or something, and you get to see that happen?
Yeah, the bad ending of Aria Sorrow.
Well, which bad ending? Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of Dawn of Sorrow, which has like multiple bad.
Dawn of Sorrow, if you didn't have the items equipped before a certain boss fight, yeah, you went to the bad ending immediately. But that's also how you unlock Julius mode.
Yeah, but I was also thinking specifically of a game over screen, not a bad ending necessarily. Huh.
You know what? That sounds really familiar, but I can't place it either.
Huh.
What game was it?
Game over, like, go ahead, Ryan.
What game was it? Where it's like you are dead, your friends are dead, your pet is dead, and so.
Oh,
on?
that's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
You're going to hell. Live with it. Game over.
I don't think that was actually a part of it, but.
Damn it.
I think probably, like, if we're going back to game over screens in Castlevania, the one that I didn't like seeing was the one from Portrait of Ruin. Because it's just a skull with a snake going through its, like, orifices. And it's pretty striking because of just, like, how out there it is. But it's also, but if you look closely at the snake, because of the, like, how muddy the pixel artwork can be, it looks like it's smiling at you.
Oh, it's like just a cute little guy. He's like,
your bones.
I'll see if I can find an image of it.
Your bones are scraped clean by the desert wind.
But the future refused to change in Chrono Trigger is a iconic one.
Yeah.
I will say.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty good one.
Although it doesn't really make much sense if you get a game over early in the game before you figure out that there's... Well, no, when you have your first...
fight, you're already time traveling.
You've already time traveled, yeah.
Yeah.
It won't make much sense, but I guess you can extrapolate.
If you get a game over somehow in the first forest against the first weakling monsters, it wouldn't make sense.
If you're really new at RPGs, I can imagine it happening, because I believe Chrono is your only character at that point. So, you know, it's not too out of left field to think that, oh, if you don't use a potion or if you just overextend, it could happen. You know, if you're really inexperienced.
You can end up going there with just Chrono, yeah. Although I get the feeling most people on a blind playthrough are gonna end up exploring with Marley.
Yeah. But the wall refused to change, though. I mean, that's a wall fucking like ending. I always really enjoyed the bad ending of Chrono Trigger.
There's like 15 different endings to Chrono Trigger.
It's 13, I want to say.
Including the canon ending if you go with Chrono Cross is what happens after.
What's considered the canon ending?
Everyone fucking dies off screen between games because
Dalton.
Alton comes back between games and apparently takes revenge despite being the comic relief bad guy.
Of all the fucking characters.
And that's why no one likes that ending.
It's just such a weird place for the plot for them to have taken the plot when writing Chrono Cross.
It's just really weird because it's kind of like imagining a Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, sequel where it's like, and then Jet the Hawk killed everyone off screen.
No, but you see, I can buy Jet the Hawk as a more viable threat compared to Dalton.
Dalton, we were calling him Alton. It's like,
wait, is it Dalton or is it Dalton?
No,
It's
Dalton, but I was saying Alton and nobody corrected me.
Well, it's because he's not memorable.
Because sometimes, hold on, no. In my defense, because Discord call quality can, you know, vary. I thought it just didn't pick up the D or when you were saying it beforehand.
Listen, the guy also has like maybe 20 lines of dialogue tops throughout the entire game. I remember when you guys were first telling me about this, I'm like, who was Dalton again? And
the
it's like,
dude exists to put wings on your time machine, and that is it.
Yeah, pretty much.
To go with with a more accurate comparison, it's like if they did a new Pokemon season with Ash, like 10 years after the ending of his series, and you find out Jesse and James murdered Pikachu. That's the kind of like out of left field dark turn that ending was, and it's just like it would be. It's also the kind of immensely unsatisfying ending that that ending was.
I just don't get why they had to tie Chrono Cross to Trigger, period. Like, the game's very clearly determined to do something different, which is fine.
Well,
you know.
it's because it from the very beginning, when it was just a like visual novel adventure thing, it was tied to Chrono Trigger. One of the characters was
also, it wasn't the purpose of it just for that twist. Like towards the end of Cross, where you find out that it's actually related to Trigger, or does it happen way earlier? And I'm just misremembering.
No, the original connection was actually that Guile or Gil was Magus in disguise. But I'm not sure how early into the thing the Scala thing came into it. That I'm not really, like, I have no idea. But they didn't need to take the ending of the original Chrono Trigger party to such a dark place for any of that to happen, so it's weird.
Yeah, a game of time travel and alternate outcomes. Why not just set it in an alternate universe or something?
Yeah, that's like, my thought. Like, you couldn't just have this be however many years after the events of Chrono Trigger, you know?
Well, you know, I like the place that the story eventually goes, where it does tie back into Lavos, but like the most interesting parts of that are all involving Scala and Magus got cut, and Scala just appears at the last second.
I mean, there's just not much to Lavos, unfortunately. Like, he is just a bug that's trying to eat the planet.
Yeah, that's the point. The point is that it's an eldritch abomination that came out of nowhere.
It's Genova. Again.
Yeah, but
exactly.
so that's the thing. Like,
Genova,
I'm not trying to downplay Lavos in Chrono Trigger. I think that the role he fills in that game is plenty good. I don't really like the final design for him, where he's just kind of like an alien inside the bug. I think the bug looks way cooler. But that's just
still
me.
I think I still think no matter what, thematically it holds up really well, because sometimes you're gonna have these creatures that don't have an origin or don't have an explanation as to why they're there or what their purpose is, but whatever it is, it's a threat to the planet. It needs to be dealt with.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think that there's that much more to do with it, you know? Or at the very least,
I agree.
or elaborating on it too much, I think, also ruins some of the mystique.
Well, the thing is, they didn't really elaborate on Lavos' origins or nature at all. What they did was they made Lavos something that it turned out couldn't be killed so conventionally.
I mean, aren't there like 15 different ways to kill Lavos? I jumped in the bucket. I didn't even know that there was a dungeon in the floating castle the first time I played, because I just jumped in the bucket.
Oh, you completely ignored
yeah, because the game always told me at the very beginning, hey, if you want to fight Lavos, so you fight him by going into that bucket.
Get in the bucket.
I didn't even, it's like, once I got to the end and like had a fully powered up party, I was like, okay, I got Chrono back, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna try fighting him, and then I won.
But like, what? Mid-air spin? Why are you shooting fighting? Why are you shouting fighting games moves at me? This is a platformer.
Quarter, circle, forward.
Win, God, fist.
You know, I fucking never used the Alucard sword until last week, and I only just realized that it had a quarter circle forward move. And I'm like,
there are fighting game inputs in Castlevania?
Yeah, there are so many fighting game inputs for so many weapons in that game. Where's your sets of adventure?
Okay. Fighting game inputs are stupid. They're not natural for me to try, because it's such, like, how the hell do you do the Ratsumaki seppuku? Like, you jiggle
Tatsumaki.
It feels like such a scam. Oh, if you wiggle your control stick in this weird, obscure way, you do a super spin move, and then when you go to the Seafoam Islands at night on a Tuesday with your gameplay held upside down, you get Peekaboo. It's like, it sounds like the same random bullshit to me.
You can't do a quarter circle backwards.
I'll defend Street Fighter inputs because they're pretty, simple. Ultimately,
yeah.
It's the old school Mortal Kombat ones that make me raise my eyebrows. I'm just like, how am I supposed to pull this shit off in the middle of a fight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at fighting games, so
I only found that applicable for like when you're doing fatalities.
Fatalities are like cheat codes that you only get one try at.
yeah. I mean, but obviously, like to me, like I'm sweating when a fatality in old school Mortal Kombat requires that I hit up, because you know what you do, you jump, and it negates any other input you've done so far.
How the hell are you supposed to find out what those button combinations are? Other than hearing it from someone else.
Hearing it from somebody else. That's literally it. Until you got like the home console ports that have strategy guides.
Yeah.
See, I would be more supportive of the argument of fighting game inputs for something outside of fighting games would be more silly if they were like Tekken inputs, because Tekken inputs I never fucking liked.
No, Tekken inputs I find are easier because it's just timing. And
You're
also
weird.
No,
you're talking about struggling doing a fucking hurricane cook of all maneuvers.
Okay, because listen, as somebody who does not
quarter circle backwards.
So okay,
That's it.
So no, here's the thing, and this is the disconnect that I'm talking about here. As someone who does not play a lot of fighting games, pressing buttons with a specific rhythm makes more sense to me than these weird movements. Like, why would I be moving back to do an attack that I think is supposed to go forward? I don't.
Well, I want to say something real quick right now, just to stop something that's really annoying. Just because I'm calling Ted weird doesn't give you permission to act like an absolute dick to him in the comment section. We're longtime friends. You are a stranger.
Is that a thing people are doing? Because I have not read the comments.
People look for an excuse.
Okay, cool.
There's always some smart boy in the comments looking for a chance to call one of us a loser. And it's like,
and they're waiting for the validation of someone else ribbing that person, completely missing the point that we're friends.
That's cool and normal behavior to do on the internet.
We're ribbing each other because we know each other, and it's funny for us.
That's an internet thing, where like, oh, playful teasing is like something that you do with someone that you're familiar with, versus like, I don't fucking know you. That's you being a dick. If I'm like, hey asshole, how's it going? Is something that you say to someone you've known since high school and not stranger you meet on the street. Anyway, what I was saying, fighting game inputs are bad, and if you like them, you are terrible. And
you were defending how you can easily do Tekken maneuvers.
Oh, not easily. I'm terrible at them, but they make
what the fuck? What are we arguing about?
Listen, okay, they make more sense to me because in my mind, pressing buttons in a specific rhythm or combination makes more sense. It's like, oh, okay, up, down, like with the way that the character's arms move, because that's how Tekken goes. It's like, oh, left, left, that right will do a special kind of flurry punch kick or whatever. I guess you can think of it as a specific way, like with the quarter circles or whatnot, but it's just, in my mind, when I'm thinking about the fighting, I never have a reason to naturally do that motion. Like, I don't know what would make me think that after playing any other kind of video game that rocking it like that would do something different than just pressing right and pressing an attack button.
The inputs in Street Fighter are often aligned with the motions of the body that the fighting that the character does. Like the sonic boom is backward forward because that's the way he moves his arms when he fires the sonic boom. It's a quarter circle for Hadouken because that's the way he moves his arms when he does Hadouken.
Yeah, so, it's just, as someone who never grew up playing those kinds of games, I find them all really non-intuitive. If you've grown up playing like that, I'm sure you find them very intuitive. It's just one of those things that experience never taught me,
and this is the point in the video where lack of practice with the other badges is starting to...
it's always this bullshit, because the problem is that all of the sections are hard, but you get to the last section in a row, right? And then you die because you haven't seen that before. And then you have to do the earlier sections all over again. And even though you are more practiced, sometimes you still make mistakes. And then you get to the part in video games where you start doing badly on parts that you used to do without any problem.
Oh, yeah.
is always the most frustrating thing. I'm sure there's a name for that phenomenon, but I don't know what it is, if there is one.
Yeah. My least favorite one is where you get like 90% of the way through it on your first try.
Oh, dude.
And then you just suck at it for like the next hour.
Dude, I hate that so much when it's like, oh yeah, that was easy. And then you die at the end. It's like, okay, well, I can get to that end part. And then you spend another half an hour. It's like, why was this so hard the second time?
Yeah, I completely, like, dunked on Dracula Phase 1 the other day in Legacy of Darkness. And then I died to Phase 2. And then it took me 3 more tries to get past Phase 1. And I just don't know why.
I don't know if it's a part of me, like, you underestimate it and then start overthinking it after that. I don't know what's up with it, but...
You're distracted on why you lost the first time, and you're not giving the initial fight your full attention.
Oh, good grief. This looks so... Ooh.
That's actually not that bad, because that's the grappling vine section, and you only really have one way of going about it.
Yeah. If you do, like, a twist on the Mega Man cheese, like, where you jump and then grapple back on right away, you can basically stay on the wall as long as you want. And then just wait out the heat blocks. So, that part's not that bad. There are certain parts of this that aren't too hard. Like, once you figure it out, this jet run badge section's not too bad. The grappling hook section's not too bad. The ones that were really frustrating for me were the spring jump and invisibility sections. I thought those were miserable.
Yeah, easily. The spring jump section I thought was dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like, I get the meaning, well, not the meaning, but, like, the trick to it. It's just, like, once you, the trick is to not stop. Like, once you get past the initial fire bar, you're just riding that momentum until the end, and then at that point, it just becomes a precision game, where make sure you're hitting jump at the right time. That's literally it. You're never letting go of forward.
I never tried doing that. I did it the hard way, where, you were just... waiting each one, and that's part of what gave me so much trouble is that it's
that's what makes it more difficult, is because you doubting yourself or hesitating makes it more challenging than it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that section really isn't that hard, because I'm sure Ryan's Inner Mega Man player came through there.
But you have to go through 3 of these fucking things without a checkpoint in the middle.
I believe this is the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The invisibility is the last one, so.
The idea of using the emotes I never had before, but next time I play this, I'm going to keep that in mind. Because that would make the invisibility... Because the invisibility section really isn't that hard. It's mostly just the fact that you can't keep track of yourself. Which is the point, I suppose, but...
Yeah.
I think I went from my max lives down to, like, 30 or so when I was playing this.
This is reminding me of my run through. Oh, what was that? What was the extra stage in Crash 1's remake?
The Stormy Ascent?
Stormy Ascent, that's the one, yes. This is reminding me a lot of that.
Wasn't there also a DLC? No. I'm thinking
that's for Crash 3. Yeah.
The Crash 3,
yeah.
Was the DLC level in Crash 3 remastered?
It was fine.
Was it as hard as Stormy Ascent was?
No.
No? Okay. Well, as far as I hear, Crash 3 is not one of the harder Crash games, right?
No.
It's 1 and then 2. They ease up as they go, is what I remember hearing.
The actual platforming challenge in Crash 3 kind of like never ramps up to the same heights as Crash 1 or 2 because there just aren't as many platforming levels. So, yeah. Yeah,
from what I remember seeing of other people's playthroughs, the hard parts were like trying to do the time trials under specific amounts.
Oh yes, like those platinum relics really did like carry their weight in terms of providing the game with challenging stuff to do. But that was the drawback for having quite so many vehicle missions, is not as many platforming levels, so not as much time for the player's platforming skill to build up, so not as hard platforming in the end.
Oh, you got him, Ryan.
I'm sorry. I'm half of my brain is looking at this level and trying to figure out, like, how would I do this? just
It
at a
is
glance.
satisfying once you do get it, but it's like 75% of the stage really isn't that bad. And then there's another, like, there's just 2 or 3 sections that are kind of bullshit, really.
Yet again, it should be stressed, and again, the only reason why we're not seeing it here, because it's Ryan's first playthrough when the game initially released, is that if you hit the X button, you'll do an emote, and that always spawns right above your head. So if you need a way of positioning yourself or finding out where you are, just do that.
Wait, are we there?
Yes, we are there.
Get the
Don't
top of
fuck
the
up and
flagpole.
not get the top of the
I was
flagpole.
gonna say, I was hoping he'd just get the bottom of the flagpole. Eat shit.
Oh, I was wrong. The game never gives you another mushroom. You get 1 mushroom at the very start, and then you get the rest of it is 1 hit or die after.
Does the checkpoint start you as Big Mario?
No, it starts you as small.
It starts you as Small Mario. Okay.
Yeah.
I think you grow to Big Mario if you hit the checkpoint, but
Yeah, if you hit the flag, you grow as big. But then if you die again, Wonder?
okay.
I'll have Wonder, please.
Thank you, Flower.
Okay. What an astonishing display of skill. The sound off badge?
Yeah, so this is the bragging rights badge. If you have this equipped, all of the standard sound effects that Mario and company do are replaced by the voice actors mimicking the sounds.
Thank you so much for playing our game.
Okay, well, that was certainly a video game.
One of the video game of all time.
Mario Wonder is.
I think this is the only thing that Ryan has left to do now is get all the standees for 100% completion. I forget what you get. I think
You just get another star on your profile icon. That's it.
Yeah, that's literally it.
Yeah. But yeah, good game. You should play it. This is good video game.
It is a fantastic 2D Mario game.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Like all things considered, it is a really solid Mario game.
Yeah.
I
I
really
hope
need to
that
buy
the
it.
next Mario game that they do, the next 2D Mario, well, and 3D, keeps the same sort of sense of being unique and fanciful, while not just like being this again, you know. Because if we have, you know, New Super Mario Brothers Wonder 2 and New Super Mario Brothers Wonder Wii U or whatnot, it kind of defeats the point of this being a breath of fresh air, you know.
A really, really long and drawn out breath of fresh air that you get tired of halfway through, but you're in a breathing competition with somebody annoying, so you just won't give up.
The air is starting to smell a little funky.
Then it's not fresh anymore. That's the point.